T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Own it, own it, own it, Kong. I own it. It did.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Welcome to WWT Live. We got a lot to discuss. We're going to be doing Bianca Belair, Mickie James, Lady Frost. We're just going to hit the ladies. We also have some men's stories too, but we have a lot to discuss, and I am not alone. Hey, Bobby, what's up? We have the woman with many jobs. I think we're up to 102 at the moment. Ella J in the building. How are you doing?
What's up, TK? You're frozen on my screen, so I don't know if you can still hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm frozen, but
Okay.
we'll just still go with it.
Well, we're both moving on my screen, so we'll go with that, and I'll check Twitch while you're talking. So we'll make it work.
Works for me. I would just want to say that we can never go a show without talking about Mickie James, though.
And she's on the cover today. I mean, you know,
I know.
Who knows? It's like it was done on purpose. I have no idea. So what do you have for us today?
We have a couple stories today. I mean, right now, WWE was talking about going to TV 14, but there seems to be no plans for that anymore. Apparently, WWE is just staying with going TVG, as reported by Fightful as well. For the foreseeable future as well. I mean, back on July 14th, Andrew Zarian first reported that Raw would be going to TV 14, and Sean Ross Sapp stated that at the time that there was mixed signals going forward, and then WWE seemingly transitioned to TV 14, but apparently that's no longer the case. It's still kind of up in the air, but apparently for the foreseeable future, WWE will continue to be PG. So it's going to be interesting to go forward, but there was all these rumors going on. And then I think even on screen, like the ratings said TV 14 at one time. So all in all, we don't really know what's going on.
Oh, it's so crazy that in the era that we're in, as far as news wise, I think I'm not moving on Twitch. I think it's me, not you. No, I'm moving. We're both moving. In the era of, getting things out first, we have, and often, we're guilty of it too. We have the hopes. Well, like I said, we put Sasha and Naomi in the bucket, but it's like we've talked about ad nauseum what's possibly happening, all this other stuff, but nothing has come out from all three parties. And it's the same thing with this. I think when I saw it, it was just a tweet, it was just a tweet. Yes. It wasn't even attached to anything. So, it's just one of those things where even though WWE is going through a lot of changes and all this other stuff, they're still a corporation. And, when they're ready to release a statement, they'll release a statement. So it's one of those things where sometimes the powers that be who do the breaking news for wrestling, it's like, it's great if you're the first, but if WWE doesn't back that up, like if you're the first and then they back it up with, an official statement, then that makes sense. Like I remember there was one organization, I think back in the spring, said the Queen Elizabeth died, but she's still kicking.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. Yeah, it's. I know we all want to be the first, ratings and all this other stuff, but then it kind of makes other people look bad because we're basing it off a tweet and stuff like that.
We've seen some like cussing and like more edgy stuff though said on WWE television as of late. Like we've had the like Roman Reigns calling Theory like he's gonna like your daddy's no longer here, like I'm your daddy now, essentially. Like we've seen some more edgy stuff over the last like 2 months since that report first came out, and we thought that it was heading that. Also, thank you, Shadow Ranger. Giselle was great. We'll talk Impact later on today, obviously, with their Lone Star Stampede tapings happening tonight and tomorrow, actually. Yeah. But I thought, like, I swear, like Michael Cole or one of the commentators said that like it was like TV 14 or something. Like I swear, maybe it was just a fever dream. But obviously, Fightful reported to, as well as multiple other news outlets. PW Insider as well stated that there's no plans to move to a TV 14 rating for the foreseeable future.
So we'll see what happens. But the man with I got kids, you have to get him in and out so he can feed his kids. Blue Magic's in the building. Coming back.
What's going on?
Like you were on vacation, but getting back from vacation seemed like it took you like 3 days.
Yeah, it was
good.
Yeah, no, it was a whole issue. So, long story short, I tried to book my flight to come back on Monday through JetBlue on Friday, which in total it included me spending 7 hours on the phone with these guys, and them also charging me for tickets and not giving me tickets. So I just had money just pending when they didn't have any tickets for me. So then I had to book another flight with another airline. I booked the flight with another airline, and then whatever storm you got, well, not you guys, whatever storm happened in New York on Monday, closed down LaGuardia completely. So I was just like stuck at the airport with my family for like 9 hours waiting to try to get home. And then for us to do the 9-hour wait for them to cancel our flight and then try to book us on another flight the very next morning, I had to make sure I didn't take that flight. And then basically we drove back from Florida to Jersey, which was like 20 hours. So we took that long drive with the kids, and honestly, the kids, like, they were G through all of it. There was no problems with the kids. Nobody cried or stomped or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, some things can be unreliable. Not me. I'm reliable. Don't tag it on me. But yeah, JetBlue definitely may have lost a customer in me. I have to go write one of those corporate letters this weekend and see what can be done about that. But yeah, it was definitely a nightmare this week trying to get home.
Yeah, it seemed like you were traveling every day. I was like, wait, you're still traveling?
Yeah.
But we're happy you're back, and we're happy that your kids, they were gangster through it, and they didn't cause you guys any problems. And Here we are. So what do you have for us today?
So today, my story is Thunder Rosa injury. As we heard this past Wednesday, Thunder Rosa unfortunately had to release her title. Not even release her title. They have to create an interim champion at All Out. She is still champion, but she just have to go ahead and deal with her injury. Today on Busted Open Radio, she was more revealing about what was the issues with her. She had a statement as well in terms of her injury. She said, "I'm not the best physically right now. I was in a lot of pain yesterday, and a lot has been happening in the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out of commission. I don't know for how long, for a couple of months probably. I have a back problem, and yesterday I was trying to be strong, but the back problems are not easy. Some days are good, some days are not. Yesterday was not a good day. I was in a lot of pain. That's one of the reasons why I'm taking time off. I want to clear the air. This is not fake. This is not a work. I am not comparing injuries to injuries. If I could fucking walk, I would effing walk. Dr. Sampson, he didn't clear me to wrestle. I'm not cleared to wrestle. It's not that I don't want to do a match on Sunday. I can't walk. It's a shame that this is being put on social media, not only to discredit me as an athlete, but also discredit me as a wrestler. I want to walk when I'm 40. I have the right to say no. I can't walk. I can't do it. I don't want to have surgery. If we keep doing this thing and going through the pain, then I'm going to be out for longer, and I don't want to do that. So basically, this is one of the reasons why she had to take time off. Apparently, she has a spinal injury type situation where she's having issues with walking and filling her legs and things of that nature, so that's why she had to step down from TV and matches. Pretty sure after All Out, when they crown the interim championship, just like we've seen this past week with CM Punk and John Moxley, when she gets back, there's going to be a unification match between her and the interim champion. So It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out for All Out because they changed the match into a fatal 4-way, and yeah, the options are very interesting.
Yeah, I like this better than just like, relinquishing the belt. Like, it makes for interesting when she does come back. But yeah,
Right.
back injuries are like, I don't even want to go into all of it. Back injuries are just not a great thing. And
It's
especially
not.
how hard Thunder Rosa trains.
Hmm.
Like it's just
Yeah.
not, I'm glad she was able to talk more about it on Busted Open Radio, but yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
she gets well and speedy recovery.
Yeah. Definitely, she's been getting a lot of bad publicity or bad stinks during this title run for her. But I wanted to ask you guys, how do you feel about her having to constantly defend herself as champion, and how they're handling it currently with Thunder Rosa?
I feel like too, her title run, unfortunately, and it's nothing against her, it's against the booking, has just fairly been underwhelming. She even as the face of the women's division, like her and Jade Cargill are the faces of the women's division. We see Jade regularly on Rampage or Dynamite. Thunder Rosa on some occasions has just had one backstage segment and then that's it. So unfortunately, I feel like the booking, at least in the early portion of her reign, were very underwhelming. Obviously, they've gained some traction in the last couple of months with Thunderstorm, and then you have Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter looming in the wings. Obviously, you had Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir in there. I feel like the first 2 months were very underwhelming. They've gained some traction in the last couple of months with the whole Thunderstorm thing going on right now. I don't know. I'm sad. I was really excited too after hearing the reports that Tony was set to win the championship anyway. I think that would have been a banger of a match, but obviously health comes first. She's been dealing with a nagging back injury for a little bit and working through it. She said she might be out a couple months. Obviously, she doesn't know for sure. She has to see all the doctor more and all of that.
Right.
But it's just AEW has been hit with so many injuries in just a short span of time.
Yeah, I feel like that's the
Yeah.
whole industry in general has been hit with these
Yeah.
injuries. What do you think,
Yeah,
TK,
definitely.
about
I
how they
definitely
allow her
think
to make an
that.
announcement?
Well, well, we can just go back to. I think it was well deserved when she got the belt. However, I agree with Ella. Like the booking just hasn't been great. And I also feel like for a women's champion, when we look at other women's champions, it's like people like they tell the story for us to get behind them. And I feel with Thunder Rosa, um, it's either the writers or whoever can't understand who she is entirely in order to tell her story in order for us to get behind her. Like I'm behind her because I've known Thunder Rosa and I've introduced Thunder Rosa for a long time and I know her story. So I'm behind her, period. But not everybody has that chance, and it's up to the organization to actually do that, especially if they're going to make that person a champion. So I feel like they did her a disservice because people didn't know, like when she became champion, it's just like people kind of knew who she was, but they didn't really know, like her and Britt Baker, when they were having that back and forth, they should have been able to like actually tell both sides of the story. So then when Thunder Rosa did come up, it's like, all right, I'm familiar with their story. I might not, like, you have to feel one way or the other. If you feel lukewarm, it doesn't make sense. So I feel like a lot of people just felt lukewarm towards her because, AEW or whoever is in charge of that just didn't give her the chance, especially knowing what was going to happen anyway.
When the week after they had Vicky Guerrero say that line of essentially, ironically, tell her she said like go back to Mexico or something like that, like making fun of her and all of that. I think it was a week or two only into her reign. It might have been the week after she won the championship, if I recall correctly. I think that right off the bat, starting her reign like that was a huge red flag. Obviously, like I said, they've gained some traction since then, but the whole booking of this run has just been confusing, to be honest with you. And she's a great performer, like JD Smith is saying right now. Like she can put on quality matches. She has a very strong Texas and Mexico representation. If you know her outside of AEW, like and all that work, you're gonna root for her. But for people who might have not been familiar with her, like outside or prior to this, like I think it would be it might be a little bit harder or a struggle to get behind her because her booking has been so hot and cold, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely
there's so
agree.
many stories.
I definitely agree. I feel like Yes, I definitely agree. I feel like the start of the reign was very lackluster. They didn't have any opponents set up for her. It felt like it just, it was just like flaying in a win kind of situation. And to your point with the Eddie Guerrero promo, it just didn't fit the storyline in general. I mean, they made up for it when they let Nyla talk on her own, which they should let her do more. She don't really need Vicky Guerrero, so. But I feel like that's one of the things. But I did see a lot of comparisons between CM Punk's announcement of being finding an interim champion and Thunder Rosa. While I do agree that the women's division needs more time, I do see the small attempts from AEW, but they also have to, for people that always want to compare these kind of situations. In this case, I do side with AEW because I feel like when you have a wrestler like Thunder Rosa and CM Punk, they're two different people on the microphone. You could give CM Punk 10 minutes in the ring and he'll know how to handle the mic. Yeah. And we've seen where Thunder Rosa kind of fumbles with like the minutes that they give her. So it made sense for them to do the backstage segment, especially if she was still emotional about the whole decision. You don't want to throw her out in the ring for 10 minutes and try to make an announcement where she's still grasping the idea in herself, and you have a pay-per-view, I believe All Out is next weekend.
Yeah.
So they don't have much time to let her recompose herself to make the announcement. So I thought that comparison was kind of like not fair, because when it's time for her to get in the ring, to give her the time in the ring because that's where her strong point is. But it's just sad altogether to see that it comes down to this. But I do feel like when she do come back and have her, if it is Toni Storm, it's gonna be an amazing match between her and Toni Storm. Whenever she does return to unify the championships, and it's also going to bring another dynamic to the Hayter and Britt Baker situation because I know we're all just waiting for that to explode. So I just feel like it works out in the long run if they do it properly.
Yeah, but the problem is that they didn't do it properly initially, and somebody like a Toni Storm who already has built-in fans from WWE, and before that, they're gonna go the easier way. Like that's my concern, where it's just kind of like, okay, it was well deserved. She's talented, all this other stuff, but if they're not seeing the pop like Britt Baker got or like Jade Cargill has, are you gonna go with somebody who is easier or more marketable because it's already a built-in audience? So that's we'll see what happens. But
I think the reason why they didn't give it to Toni Storm in the first place is because they had their minds made up already that Thunder Rosa had to dethrone Britt Baker from their history, and I feel like that's the reason why they didn't do it. Because again, that's even when they did the rebuild, even though they fumbled it a little bit, because Thunder Rosa should have just beat her clean the first time. But I understand that they wanted to get the hometown feel to it. For her win, but I feel like that's the reason why Toni Storm was dealt the way she was dealt. But I do feel like they're starting to pick up on it more and more now that her popularity within this fan base is growing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not talking about then. I'm talking about when Thunder Rosa comes back.
Okay.
The run with Thunder Rosa now is underwhelming, and some people.
I thought you meant Toni Storm. My mistake.
Yeah, no. Some often people don't blame themselves. They're gonna blame the athlete, but it's like you know the story. So now, if you have somebody like between the two, when Thunder Rosa does come back, are they going to give her another chance? That's the concerning part, because like this run should have been amazing.
Right.
Like, she should have there's so many stories and angles that they could have allowed her to tell that would have, tied everything together. And even and we had Sammy saying she wasn't really great on the mic. They have people backstage who can talk for her, or she doesn't really have to do the mic. She doesn't really speak as much. She can just show more in the ring as a champion. So
definitely,
we'll see what happens. I know you got to get to the kids, so you have a little bit more time, or you like I have to feed the babies?
I have a little bit more time. I'm actually ordering dinner tonight. We're still recovering from this entire week.
I bet. So we're gonna get into Ella's favorite person to talk about from BFF. You want to hit this story, Ella?
I just want to say that this was not even the story that I pitched. It just so happened.
It fell in your lap.
Yes, pretty much.
Every time you're on.
It just so happens, yeah. I mean, tonight, Impact is filming their tapings, the Lone Star Stampede from Dallas, Texas, today and tomorrow. Mickie James will be there tonight, and she's apparently making an announcement. She's been teasing her retirement and all that, but it's not confirmed. Of course, I'll definitely be reading spoilers, but officially, it won't air until next Thursday.
I hate
Also, I mean, yeah, I know. I don't know. It could be something else. I don't know. I might not always expect the unexpected. I feel like that's too obvious, but who knows? This is professional wrestling. Also, I mean, next week, Impact 2 was teasing the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows will defend their Impact Tag Team Championships against Mike Bennett and Matt Taven of Honor No More, which, by the way, didn't their contracts are running out next week, this weekend? I'm pretty sure their contracts run out this weekend, at the tapings. So the results of that are fairly obvious. They signed an extension, I believe, through the tapings, which are taking place tonight and tomorrow. So I would definitely expect some new Impact Tag Team Champions, most likely. Definitely too, apparently Carl Anderson ensured that next week Maria Kanellis will be barred from ringside from the tapings and all of that. They're all about shutting up the OGK. Masha Slamovich will also take on Deonna Purrazzo in a basically number one contendership, where the winner will go on to face Jordan Grace at Bound for Glory, which is set for October 7th in Albany, New York. I'll be there, so that's exciting. It's exciting because, I mean, if Deonna wins, then she has a chance to be Deonna 2 belts potentially by Bound for Glory. She is still one half of the Knockouts Tag Team Champions. So that's going to be airing next week on Impact Wrestling. And I'm sure a lot more is going to go down at these tapings tonight. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely going to be stalking Twitter tonight to learn.
I know. Nikki, I believe, is going to be at both tapings. So, and then also we have Santana. If you want to know what our predictions are, check out the Impact post-show. So yeah, that went out yesterday. By the way, I need a description so I can put it on everything else too, Santana. So please let all shakers know. But yeah, Nikki will be there. But the question is, for the person that I brought in the picture, because I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, Mickie said there's nothing for her to do. And tonight or this weekend, and it's going to debut whenever, she's going to be making this big announcement. But I don't think it's going to be a retirement. And I know you can't say, Blue, I don't know if you know Ella and Mickie James' relationship, but they are BFFs in real life and on Twitter. To the extent, they say I love you pretty much every morning. It's quite a relationship. So they have a discussion. So I'm sure Ella kind of sort of knows, and I'm not going to say she should let us know, but I just feel
I can't confirm nor deny anything. But I would, like I said, expect the unexpected. Mickie has been saying, she doesn't know what the future holds, but she would rather go out screaming "Women's Wrestling Matters" from the rooftops. So
that means Mercedes and Trinity are pulling up. It's
possible. I mean, this year in wrestling has taught me never say never. To be honest, you
the big cars are out the window.
you never know. So just keep that in mind. I will, like I said, intently be stalking my timeline tonight. I can't believe that we have to wait a whole week just to see this air. But
yeah, the teases are kind of. I wish they would. I wonder who's in control of that, because I wish they would have had the tease leading up to the next show, versus,
but they also got to sell tickets. They also got to sell tickets to the tape.
Right, but then if that's the case, then there's gonna be spoilers.
Oh, there's gonna be spoilers regardless. Yeah. I guess we'll see. We'll have to turn into if you don't want spoilers, you'll have to turn into Access TV next week for this announcement. And also, like I said, the number one contendership between Masha Slamovich and Deonna is going to be a banger of the match, where the winner will go on to face Jordan Grace for the Knockouts Championship at Bound for Glory, which is coming up so quickly, October 7th. It's going to be a fun time.
I know.
This year been flying.
Was in Vegas. Yeah, this year has been flying. Last year, I think last year was in Vegas, so I was actually looking forward. I was like expecting it to be in Vegas this year, but it's your neck of the woods, so I hope you enjoy for sure. This year is flying. We're pretty much into Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I wonder how far
it's a wrap.
Albany, New York is for me. I mean, I just did 20 hours from Orlando. I guess I
Oh my
could do like a
God.
couple of more hours.
Where are
Might as
you in New
well.
York?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm in Jersey. I live in Jersey, so
It's probably like
So
3
I think
hours
that's
from you. 2.5, 3
is it
hours probably.
is it 2.5? Because isn't Albany near Buffalo?
No, I'm 4 hours away still. But
Okay, so then okay, yeah,
I'm
because
gonna look it up.
we used to
I've
drive
never
from
been to
Toronto
Impact Show.
to.
That'd be interesting to add
Oh, you should go. It's a great
to the list.
experience.
yes. Santana, I definitely agreed. Masha definitely gonna be taking that win.
What do you think? Where do you think Masha's gonna be as far as Impact is concerned? I feel like they're
Um,
setting her up for something great.
Yeah, I mean, didn't she after the match with Mia and Jordan at Emergence, like Masha like teased Jordan? So I feel like this is setting up. I feel like Deanna is preoccupied with the Knockouts tag team. I mean, they could very well do Deanna at 2 belts. But I put they've already teased that kind of Masha and Jordan like animosity or teasing something between them. So Masha, I mean, after months, I mean, Masha's been here for about a year now, and she's built up. She's won those matches against the unsigned talent. She's been on kind of a winning streak, and so I think now is the time that they're going to pull the trigger on Masha and have her go after the Knockouts Championship finally, after she's been kind of waiting in the wings.
I agree. I think it's well deserved. Blue, you good? You want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, I was trying to see how far the
Oh, how
event
far
is.
Albany is from you?
It's
Yeah,
probably
I'm
like 3 hours, honestly. Probably
yeah, I think so. I'm sorry, but yeah, you can follow me at Blue Magic Grind, spell how it sounds. You can follow Obi also at the Mixed Tag Show, with my co-hosts who also usually be on here when it's Sasha time and Boss time and all that stuff. Miss Jenna Baby BAYBEE. Make sure you follow us at For You Aware. If you haven't already purchased and support Women's Wrestling Talk storefront there, we have a few of us is on there. Right, you find me on the whole. I'm not waiting no more. I'm sending a letter. I'm about to go grab my pen and pad, and I'm gonna write a very long letter to JetBlue to make sure that they count me at least 8 tickets. 2 trips for my family. Yeah, definitely. You can find me at For You Aware. Make sure you support Women's Wrestling Talks storefront and all the other podcasters and wrestlers as we continue to grow our list. Again, to all podcasters and wrestlers, if you haven't already, reach out to me. Maybe we can work out some exclusive merch that we can run through our store. And that's about it.
Yeah. By the way, when Jenna was on, I think you were starting your vacation. She said some really great things about you. So I just wanted.
Yeah, she said that. I appreciate it. That's why I didn't take no shots today. I took it nice and light today. Make sure you have relayed a message. I was nice today. So maybe she should continue.
We'll see what happens next week.
Let's see what happens.
Thanks, Blue. You have a good
No problem.
weekend.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
All right. Bye. Oh, gosh. So we're waiting for Cain and Mr. Bonner, who both tied up with family stuff, but the show must go on.
I wrote an article on Cain's story, so I mean, I pretty much I can do that if you'd like.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it then.
Bianca Belair, the multi-talented, multifaceted legend in the game, has now signed with the longest running talent agency. I don't know if that's in the world or in the US, but according to their website, they're the longest running, I should say, with WME, the Hollywood agency, is first reported by Variety exclusively. She has signed to the talent agency for representation in all areas, including podcasting, acting, marketing, and much, much more. I mean, WME represents a lot of talent in all of sports and entertainment around the world. I mean, they even have facets in books and culinary and sports and film and all of that. So Bianca Belair is definitely going to be expanding her repertoire and building her business. She has her own business, by the way, right now. But I'm excited for her. Bianca Belair is basically going Hollywood.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I just looked at WME because I remember, I think it was like Naomi Campbell was signed to them. She's from London, but WME has multiple locations. So they have the Beverly Hill location, Nashville, New York, of course, in Europe, London, Asia, Sydney. Like they're probably definitely what they say worldwide. So definitely congratulations to Bianca Belair. But I mean, who didn't see this coming?
I mean, yeah, she won like an ESPY last year too, which is like on a grander scale in sports for best WWE moment with Sasha Banks at WrestleMania 37. She's been on a lot of like red carpets and all of that. So I mean, yeah, I mean, like Santana said, from the EST to WWE to the EST of WME, I feel like, I mean, it's a good rhyming. I'm excited to see like what avenue she wants to go, whether it's podcasting or acting or books or something. She has that background in sports too, in track and field. She could do a lot.
She can do a lot and a lot of money. So, so Santana's saying she had WME in her bio since
Really?
SummerSlam, actually. So, I mean, it seems like a great fit, even beyond WWE, because I think, oh my gosh, there's two people that I think were signed to WME as well. But, it's just more money, which is always great. So
maybe we'll see her in some films or something. Who knows?
Why not? But here's the thing. I feel like when you start doing films, then you're kind of having 2 feet in both worlds. And I'm all for having a bunch of jobs, trust me. However, I feel like we have to get a little bit more reign from Bianca before she starts doing that, because when she starts doing that, and then you're going to see the money that's involved, because it's like, look, you can do a movie, TV, or whatever, less wear and tear on your body, and actually make more money. You're not on the road as often. You're not going to want to, you're going to want to have that Legends contract. And I don't think WWE is going to be like, okay, we love what you're doing. You're doing amazing things. For God's sake, I saw somebody on Twitter, they posted, I didn't know they had the hair ponytail on WWE. You can buy for the WWE shop as a clip-on. So, I mean, it's all that stuff. So, like Santana is saying, I was saying it's too early for her to leave. It's not necessarily leave WWE, but to straddle both worlds. I feel like if she does the commercials and she drops a book or something like that, but then the movies, a little bit more commitment, and then you get used to that TV money and that movie money is a beautiful thing. But I feel like you should like solidify who you are in WWE, so when you go off, people still remember you. Like, people still know Cena. People are still like myself, still wanting The Rock to come back, even though Rock hasn't been in the ring forever. But he solidified himself before he started actually doing that. So
makes sense.
Santana's saying that, the clip-on ponytail. I'm curious to see what type of hair they're using. It's only $60.99, so you can only imagine. But I guess I hope she receives 80% of that portion, because I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about that. That Marvel money, though. I agree. So what else do we have?
We also have celebrity. I mean, talking about like Hollywood, although I think they film in Atlanta. Actually, is Family Feud. Maybe I know they film regular Family Feud in Atlanta. I don't know about celebrity Family Feud. That might be in Hollywood or something.
I think he might have moved to Atlanta. Yeah,
it might have. I don't know if they film it, but nevertheless, we have a battle of the WWE stars coming up on August 28th. I believe it airs Sunday. Between The Miz versus the Mysterio family, which, by the way, Maurice isn't even on the Miz's family's team, which doesn't make sense to me unless she had to watch the kids or something. Yes. So, yes, the WWE superstars, the families, will be on Celebrity Family Feud on ABC4. Of course, the Mysterios will have Rey Mysterio, his wife Angie, their kids Dominic and Aaliyah, and Daniel, of course, also rounding out, and they will be competing for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The Miz's team is going to be hilarious, though, but there's no Maurice. Which baffles
me. Who's on the team then?
So we got the Miz. We got his mother Barbara, which we've also seen on Miz and Mrs. We got good old Marjo, who's an iconic lady, Maurice's mother.
How's Marjo on, but Maurice is not on?
I don't know. Maybe she had to watch the kid. Maybe she had to watch the kids. I don't know. We got, like I said, Mrs. mother Barbara. We got his father George, who we've seen with the iconic fighting stance a couple years ago, and we also have his cousin Don in place of a potential Maurice. So I don't And their charity is for Connor's cure that they will be competing for. It's a charity game of Celebrity Family Feud. I mean, we've seen the Miz and the Mysterios brawling on Raw, kind of leading up to SummerSlam. Also, thanks for the raid, you guys. Hello, Ghost Pimple Raid. Thank you for that. But yeah, no Maurice in the Miz's corner, which maybe she'll make a cameo or something like a via satellite. But I think Marjo is honestly going to be the star of this Celebrity Family Feud.
Yeah, but I feel like I need answers. Like,
I don't know.
need Maurice to tweet something after this aired, because this absolutely makes no sense. I mean, they could afford. They have a nanny like this, you know, or maybe she just didn't want to do it.
I don't know. I think it's going to be really funny seeing Miz kind of react to seeing some of his parents' answers as well as Marjo's answers. I think some of them are just going to be like shocking. And so I'm definitely going to be tuning into that. I think it's going to be hilarious.
It is going to be hilarious. I definitely need to check that out. Santana, if you're still in the chat, we have to definitely figure out a write-up some way or another about that, because it will definitely be hilarious. I don't know if I really want to talk about this story. It is kind of sad.
I know which one.
It's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real life, you know?
Yeah. So let's talk about it.
I am assuming you're talking about Lady Frost.
Yes.
Yes. So Lady Frost recently opened up about her mental health. Obviously, she a few months ago left Impact Wrestling after a short time. I believe she signed like maybe November of last year, late 2021. But earlier this year, she announced via social media that she had left. She was last seen in April, but apparently she had an injury and wouldn't make a return. But Lady Frost recently released a statement on Twitter. She said, "You can tell I'm disheartened and that my mental health isn't where it should be. Sorry if you were expecting more of a yay wrestling interview. I just kind of keep it real in talking in response to PWI, where she opened up about her struggles with mental health, where she was feeling, quote, deflated and, quote, brokenhearted, and had thought about actually quitting wrestling. Of course, she's returned to the indie scene in the meantime, but she isn't really sure what the future holds for her. She said, quote, with PWI, with Candice Cordelia, quote, "I have no idea what's next. Honestly, I will be very candid. I'm one that's open about mental health, and I think being happy comes first, because if you don't have you have nothing. There is no wrestling, there's no dogs in a pool, and I know that. I definitely struggle, and I think happiness comes first, and I was in a place where I was not mentally happy, so I'm choosing to be kind, to kind of put myself first, and honestly, I thought I was just going to quit wrestling because I was just deflated, a little brokenhearted, and I think, and it wasn't until this weekend. It always happens. You have a great match or a great crowd and a great little girl, and you're fulfilled again, and you understand why you love this so much. But I feel like so much was taken away from me personally that I wasn't sure what my place was going to be. I wasn't sure if, I don't know. She basically went on to say that she was brokenhearted and that she doesn't know what's next. She loves performing in front of fans, but she doesn't know what's next for her.
Right.
Which is obviously sad, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think I could think of quite a few people who actually had to take a break from wrestling. And I feel like the grind, especially for all the highs that you receive on the indie scene and just in general, the behind the scenes, the locker room stuff, to get yourself to be that performer takes a lot. And, depending on, how she started, when she started, all that stuff. So, hopefully she's an amazing performer. Her gimmick is great. And I think I saw on her Twitter or Instagram that she has the rights to Lady Frost.
Yes.
Like she bought the rights.
Has that officially trademarked.
She has that officially trademarked. So congratulations to her. So I guess she's, it's fairly young. So she has more time, and, we'll see what happens. This is actually a new story that I added last minute. TMZ actually posted this, talking about Darby Allin, where he does a stunt jump with a Jeep over 96 feet. So I'm going to kind of show this real quick, which is, we've seen him do crazy stuff before. That's how I was introduced to him before he was even signed to AEW. Let me just take it back so you can just
God.
Okay. Here we are. But I'm like, he's been doing crazy stuff, but I just want to know, like, what makes you one day just wake up? It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna get in my Jeep and jump over a few houses and land into a pit of.
I mean,
like, a bunch of cars.
he has that fearless mentality. It'd be another thing if he was doing like a 96 feet coffin drop. That would be something else. But he was in a Jeep, which I don't know. Was this like for a certain project, or it was just like for his own pleasure? That's what I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like um
The flying Jeep. Oh, that's just Darby.
yeah. No, it doesn't say for a certain project. Just apparently he likes doing stunts, which we all kind of know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it doesn't say Guinness World Book of Records, none of that. It's just, that's Darby being Darby. Oh yeah. JD, shout out to JD. So I think we have one more story. Eddie Kingston. He's been
There's been so much on the Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara saga. Like, even just besides this, like Sammy released a statement to Fightful Tool and all of that. I didn't get to read all of that yet. But there's a lot. Like, they've had beef like in backstage real life, and they both released statements on it. Eddie got suspended, but the suspension's already over. He missed this week's tapings for Dynamite and Rampage. Which obviously that his suspension's already over. Don't know the exact time frame of that, but he'll assumingly be back next week. I think that they were scheduled to have a match at All Out. I don't know if it's still on or if it's been canceled or whatever. But there's been a lot to this Sammy Guevara Eddie Kingston saga.
Eddie Kingston looks like exactly what he talks about, if that makes sense. Like everything that's happening, even though it's a character, it doesn't seem like it's a character. Like everything is very believable. He's passionate about wrestling. You can't take that away from him. But the, not showing up, and we don't know, of course, this is all speculations, alleged stuff like that. But he just looks like that guy that he's just going to do what he wants to do. So I guess kudos to him for that. Or where do you think Eddie's gonna? Do you think he's coming back, or do you think he's just over it?
I mean, they had a talent meeting, so I'm sure some of it was generally addressed at this talent meeting that apparently happened at Dynamite, prior to Dynamite this past week. So I'm sure that it was like I said, I believe Fightful said that his suspension is already over. Basically, he missed this week's tapings. 100% I cringe to think about what Eddie would be doing without wrestling. I don't know what he would be doing without wrestling. His suspension's over, so I assume he returns next week on Dynamite. I don't know if they're going to still continue forward with that feud leading up to All Out. Obviously we'll know more on Wednesday, but there's already so many matches happening, and if you don't want to ruffle any feathers, I think it would make sense if they didn't rush to that match right away, considering there's so many other matches. But I mean, it's real life. Sometimes wrestling, you work yourself into a shoot, or sometimes shoot things go into a work, onto real life screen. But we've seen that. So I don't know.
We definitely have. And then I don't think if he chooses not to be with AEW anymore, he'd give up wrestling. I definitely think he's fit for the indie scene, because the indie scene's more networking, but you don't have to deal with the same people every single time, which might be beneficial for him. However, I'm not advocating anybody losing their job. So if they can figure out with AEW and everything that they say is true, because like we talked about at the top of the show, it's kind of one of those things that we had a lot of stories going out with WWE being, was it TVMA? And it's no longer that, or it was supposed to be, but it's not happening, all this other stuff. So, we'll see what's happening with that. We have, let's give him a standing ovation here. Cain McCoy in the building. I don't know what you're going to talk about, Cain, but I'm sure you have something for us.
Sorry, I was texting Bianca Belair if she remembered me. I was like, hey, you remember me? I was in Knoxville. You was in NXT, but I talked about you a lot on my old Knoxville radio show. Can I borrow $1? Can I just, because I know you got the WME thing, so instead of WME, what about WE? What about we? And she hasn't responded back. Nor do I think this is the right number for her. So whoever I talk to is probably just very confused. Come in with the womp. Well, I'm in this thing, man. Like we're here. We're adulting in honor of WWE pay-per-views and old school. Clearly, I've been looking to find somewhere in your house, in a house, as I'm currently apartment hunting. So pardon my delay. Where are we at on the show? Let's see here. We're gonna talk about Eddie Kingston.
We did everything.
Oh, we did everything. Oh, everything's. Oh, so show's over. All right. Well, I can go back to texting Bianca then. I could just text Bianca some more. That I'm in. I just like, hey, just answer me. Like we knew the same guy at the barbershop. You know what I mean? Like back in the day.
Bianca was going to a barbershop.
Well, we knew the same people over like what is it called? East High School is the school she went to, I think, in East in Knoxville. So some of the people in the barbershop knew her back in the day. Austin East, there we go. Austin East, which is there's literally an area of Knoxville where all the black people live, like South Knoxville. So if you're in South Knoxville and you're watching WWT Live, shouts to you. I miss you guys. It was lit over there. I thoroughly enjoyed So Knox. That is a nickname that we called it. But a couple things going on, man. Like just to kind of recap what you guys talked about, the Thunder Rosa situation is nuts. I was very freaking upset when I saw the PG rating change, or it's going to stay the same apparently. But I mean, even
I
with
thought
Hunter
that
Red,
they
it's
literally
pretty
said
good.
on screen. I swear maybe it was a fever dream that they had mentioned that WWE would be going TV 14, or at least like their content has been more edgy. Like they've been cursing, they've been making more like edgy references. I thought for sure that they would like switch it,
like
so
just lean into it. But it sounds like an advertising thing, really. It's just more like, oh, like we're just gonna like keep it like this, and then tune in to find out what exactly happens. Like there might be a chance that we do or don't stick to this. So that's going to be really cool to see what goes down. I just switched my mic up because can everyone still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we out here live, but I can't hear you. So let me see here. Let's do this right, that right there. Adjust, and we are
He's Chris.
Liddy, indeed. Now we go. Now it sounds really good. But a couple of things that are just coming down the wire here on Women's Wrestling Talk Live. We have a new signing with Impact Wrestling. Kind of like the same person.
Yes, technically no. It's more
right?
a rebranding.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's causing havoc in terms of the crayons, if you will, the chirons when putting the name on there, because Jessica, formerly known as Havoc, has signed with Impact Wrestling. So she returned on Thursday's Impact. She defeated Eddie Edwards' wifey, Miss Alicia Edwards. Is it Alicia or Alicia? I always
Alicia.
Yeah, they say it like Alicia. Yeah, every time I say it, I'm like Alicia. Always like urbaning up. But of course, she came from the undead realm. She was with Decay, and the Kaiju Queen has been transformed into Jessica. So she's gone from like very dark to very bright, a la kind of like an Abyss Joseph Park kind of feel. When I first saw it, I was like, oh yeah, she like she can be happy. I do enjoy how her Twitter handle was still Fear Havoc, but maybe it'll be less Havoc to fear, like maybe Love Havoc, if you will. Yeah, well, mind blown.
Now she's just
it just blew me.
Now
it's not just Jessica with a K. That is so sick. That sounds like a Gwen Stefani song. It's like Jessica or something. Like, I don't know. I listen. So big shouts to Jessica. Big shouts to Impact. We know that Tennille Dashwood is no longer with there, so she could kind of come back and fill that void on the knockout side of things. So big shouts to that. And then we got some more news, guys. Io Sky, the recently also, speaking of renames, right? Io Sky, aka Io Cherie, but now Io Sky.
Io Shirai, the disrespect.
Shirai, it's my. I was waiting for you to fix it. That's all. I want to make sure your girl don't get disrespected out here. She thought about returning to Japan. Prior to her return at SummerSlam, of course, She came back on July 30th. She had been absent since April, since NXT Stand and Deliver. Obviously, she was black and gold, and the whole 2.0 thing was kind of a little awkward. But she talked to Corey Graves on WWE After the Bell, and she thought that she might be going back to Japan. She came here in the U.S. in 2018, spent the whole pandemic here by herself. And 2022 was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go. Kairi Sane looks really happy over there in Stardom. So I think I might roll over there too. But she's back and she's teamed with Dakota Kai and and Bailey. So we're going to see what happens with that. Possibly we're looking at the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions with her and Kai because they're in the finals, yeah?
Yeah, and the last chance fatal 4-way semifinals match. Well, they will qualify for the semifinals. There's going to be 2 matches tonight. The fatal 4-way second chance. The winner of that will go on to face Aaliyah and Raquel Rodriguez in the semifinals, and then the winner of that will then go on to face Io and Dakota on Monday. So there's 2 women's matches tonight, at least.
Please let them wrestle in bubble wrap on like gymnastic mats. We don't need no more injuries. Like, right. Sheesh. Like, that injury bug, spray some Lysol. Don't shank anybody's grandma to get that Lysol like we were doing COVID. Just get a can of Lysol and spray the ring and down so we don't have any type of injuries today. So really excited to see that. And then Monday, will Sasha and Naomi walk out or not?
We're not talking about them. When they do.
Box in. We're going to keep boxed in.
They're still in the box. We'll leave them in the box because all the reports. If we were to total all the reports of everybody with their speculations and all this other stuff, we will wait when they appear. We will discuss.
Just imagine Sasha, Naomi versus Dakota and Io. Bitch, I would die.
Yes, bitch, I will perish. I would talk about this. Okay. We got some bonus stuff too. Did you guys see anything about Lady Frost?
We did it. We did everything, Cain.
I mean, I just wanted to highlight and return. So we also about Celebrity Family Feud as well.
Yes. There's no Maurice in that. Maurice isn't even on the Mrs. team, which is sad.
Weird.
Yeah. Ooh la la, as one Maurice will say. And we talked about Darby Allin as well.
Yes.
We talked about everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Well, blame the apartment complex and getting things right. I'm gonna break kayfabe. I'm gonna shoot for a sec. Goodness gracious, why do life be so hard, y'all? Why do we making life difficult? Why do people make life just so unnecessarily difficult? And you got to come out of body, you got to come out of pocket, you got to start cutting shoot promos on like some leasing agent and stuff like that. It's like, listen here, this Sunday. Your leasing manager needs to meet me in an empty apartment match. We're gonna fight in an empty apartment match on control your own narrative, or whatever.
Okay. Well, for those who don't know, Cain also lives in Los Angeles, and he is currently apartment hunting. So
I will highly
wow today.
Yeah. Like, wow, that's gonna be really fun. We're gonna go down there. I might invite the leasing agent from my apartment complex to come into the ring with me and just talk about how much the monthly payment should be. I just want you to acknowledge online.
Card, you're fine.
Yeah. Well. You know what? Thank you for saying that. You know what? I should have told him that. I was at Disney last night actually, and it was a good time. Here's the.
He's
Disney
making
thing.
sure he has the numbers covered.
That was pretty fun. Yeah, that was the Disney card. We went to Disney, and I tried to pay with that, and it didn't work. So if that was in an event where I did accidentally show my banking information and got fished, I would just pay for it with my Bank of America debit. No, I'm kidding. My WWE credit card. So there we go, man. So if you guys are still watching, this is WWT Live. Yeah, I know, right? Everyone's doing everything. But WoW should be dope tonight, TK. We don't necessarily know the card or know exactly what's going down with everything tonight, but it's going to be exciting. There's going to be a couple of tapings. We're going to be excited to see. I hope our fan of the show, also fellow Richmond, Virginia native, 2 up, 2 down.
She will be there. I spoke to her there.
Sarah the Rebel, aka Reza, will be in the building. So I'm really excited to see her go down. And I think Fire, who is Kiera Hogan, I think either one half of the champs or at least in the tag title picture will also be there. So I'm excited. I see some wow.
Is
Downtown
Kiera
LA
Hogan supposed to be there?
I think she's like off the top of my head.
I haven't seen her
she was
post
like
anything since the last run.
Yeah, she got to be one half of the champs. I thought she was, or at least in contention. So I just really enjoy seeing her wrestle. I enjoy me some Kiera Hogan. Will Kiera Hogan appear here and Rampage tonight? Dun, 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 dun. She's gonna Rick Root us and see what's popping. So there we go, folks. Gonna be a fun weekend of wrestling. It's been a fun day of wrestling, and now I'm going to go and tweet from my unknown account about Sammy Guevara.
Do you want to tell everybody where they can follow you on your known and unknown account?
Yeah, you can follow me at Cain McCoy, CainMcCoy, or follow me at my burner account, Vince McMahon. It's me, Austin.
Everybody find you.
It's me the whole time.
Where can everybody find you, Ella?
You can find me in an hour at WW Talk Pod. I will be live tweeting SmackDown tonight, where we were talking about this Fatal 4-Way Last Chance match happening and all that fun stuff. You can also follow me at It's Ella J on Twitter, and follow the link tree in my bio for all that fun stuff.
All our 102 jobs. Definitely check that out. We also have an after show with Santana and Stephanie. So check that out. That's happening, I believe, at 8:30 this evening. If you are going to be in the Los Angeles area and you see myself or Cain, say hi at the WOW show. You can go to our website at www.talkpod.com, get all our latest articles, all that good stuff. And we are officially everywhere. We're on Medium. We're on LinkedIn. We're on TikTok. We're on IG. We're on just everything. You can just type us in and you will find us. Other than that, you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. And for you guys new to WWT Live, we are here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, when we talk all the latest, greatest of news type stuff. Trust and believe, Cain is not looking for an apartment every day. It just was following episodes to check us out. Other than that, thanks guys for watching. Until next time, ciao.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.